morning light so bright.
Hello, you're welcome. This is Her Majesty Easy World Science Channel, and we are here again to prepare you on how to write this next exam coming to do your practicals as usual. You're with the scientist. We're going to show you the right way for a titration. So get me that guide question. The question that will be guiding us here, I'll do the experiment, teach you the basic things you need to know, and then the calculations that follows it will come on my second channel, that is Majestic Tutorials. That's where I will do the calculations. All right, so what you can see there on the screen, it gave us that A is a solution of dilute nitric acid, while B is a solution of potassium hydroxide containing 1.4 gram per 250 cm cube of a solution. So as usual, you are told to place A in a burette. This is burette as we know, and then A is normally in burette, but that doesn't mean that A must be in burette. So you follow instructions. Some titrations like 2016, they told students to put B in burette, so you have to be careful. And then don't be deceived that A must stand for acid. Yes, we have different types of titration. We have redox titration, we have acid-based what? Titration. Okay, so in that case, if it is redox titration, there is no way A will stand for acid. So A is just an alphabet to identify specimen, just like you do in your biology. That specimen A is snail. It must not start with S. Each specimen must not start with the letter that started it. So A for acid, but most times we use A to represent acid. And again, for WAEC, we have alternative A, B, and C. For alternative A candidates, their acid is usually labeled A, while their base is usually labeled B, then their salt is C or D, depending on if the year that they brought two salts, the salt will be C and D. But for alternative B, if the letter A to D has been exhausted, you know that alternative B now, the acid alternative B will be E, while the base will be F. So that's why I'm trying to correct the pressure that A stands for acid and A must be in burette. No, it depends on the question. So if you're writing alternative B, you can see your acid as even sample D and your base as sample E. Then alternative C students will now see it as maybe even sample G. So but here, just know that generally what is in the burette is called the titrant, and then you titrate. We're going to be doing acid-based titration here, using the question as you saw there as a guide. You are told to put the A, this is my A, in a burette. I've prepared the standard solutions. Then here is my B. So the instruction says put A in a burette. So this is my burette. Here is my white dye. Let's fill the A into the burette as fast as possible. Always label to avoid confusion. This is my A. While filling it, avoid air bubbles. You have to be careful while filling. So you tap to make this 0. So that's my 0. Then I pipette my B. Remember, the first titration is called rough titration. So this is the B that contains 1.4 gram of KOH per 250. Then the calculations will give us, this is the standard solution anyway. I decided to bring the concentration of this. So we are using this now to find the concentration of this acid. So in acid-based titration, we can use it to determine the concentration of acid and base. We can also use acid-based titration to determine percentage purity of the acid or the base. We can also use it to calculate the relative atomic mass of some metallic metals of a base like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, and we also use it to determine percentage water crystallization in some compounds that have water crystallization. Now, I have many options. Here is my volumetric pipette, and here is my graduated pipette. Graduated, volumetric. Volumetric measures only one volume, one particular volume, while graduated can measure many volumes. I don't know if the camera can show it clearly. There are many graduations here, many numbers. Yeah, many graduations are there. You can see the numbering here. But here you can only use it to measure one volume. There is a ring here I believe it can be visible to the camera. This ring shows the mark that is 25 mil. This one is 25 mil. Why I call this one graduated pipette, not that he went to university and he graduated, not really, but because it is calibrated, measuring different volumes. So I have many options here. Normally for your exams in O level, you are required to use volumetric pipette, but when I do my analysis, I use graduated what? Pipette. Now, I can use mouth to pipette, but because I'm wearing these gloves, it will disturb it. Now, I have many alternatives, which you can order also. This is called pipette bulb. I supply all this in a large quantity. The time has gone for you to use mouth to be sucking like a sucking breast. You have outgrown that type of thing, and your student will suffer drinking the base and be like, oh, Sa Majesty is here to help that problem. So you order for your pipette bulb, and this is the more sophisticated one. This is called pipette. This is pipette pump. So with this one, you can get any. Just wind this, and it will take the liquid in. Watch me. Just roll it. When I'm rolling it, you watch here. You see the liquid is moving. So no stress. So you can't be telling your children, don't drink base, time has gone. Yeah, stop being outdated, okay? Order for your pipette pump, your pipette bulb, your laboratory apparatus, science equipments and reagents. Sa Majesty Easy World Science and Surgical Supplies, a registered company. We oversee the well-being of a science laboratory and equally help you to conduct some experiments. But here, I want to use the pipette bulb. The pipette bulb can pipette large volume, while the pipette pump have a restricted volume. Like this one is 25 ml, you cannot pipette beyond that. So I'll bring my conical flask that I've rinsed well. Then I'm measuring. You just pipette, press your S, the liquid moves, very simple. Okay, I've passed that mark. I can now press expel. Yeah, very easy to use. You are just one chat away. Contact me with +2347065166217. So I will discard. I'm dispensing the 25 ml of B. Remember to avoid air bubbles. You see, when I was pipetting, there was no air bubbles for accuracy in volume measurements. Okay. Then this little drop remaining is insignificant, so don't blow it off because you might add your saliva into it. Remember, the pH of your saliva is alkaline. It might be affecting the endpoint indirectly. Whether you wash your teeth or not, don't blow. So this is the base. Before you start your titration, you add the indicator. The question says using methyl orange as the indicator. Instruction is clear. The problem here is how many drops will I add? It depends on the strength of my indicator. So it's showing me yellow. So 2 drops or 3 is recommended, but highly concentrated indicator solution, a drop can serve. Now, before I start titrating, I look at the initial. The initial I got now is the real initial. Looking at this, it is still at 0.00. Then I have to remove my funnel. So don't titrate with the funnel being intact. It will lead to error in volume. Then hold the neck and swell gently. You don't need to fight with it. Don't remove this from the mouth and shake outside. No. Why? A drop might fall off, causing error in volume. Then make sure the liquid is flowing direct to the analyte. What is inside this conical flask is called analyte. While what is here is called titrant. So the acid here is my titrant, while this base KOH is my analyte. Remember, I also have a burette with tap. So as you add, you swell. Your first titration is the most difficult because you'll be looking down at the titan mixture, nothing concern you with the urette readings. All right, I'm approaching endpoint because it's persisted before the color will change. So a drop or just few drops will take me there. Few drops away, and I'm there. This is the exact endpoint, very accurate. Immediately you finish, you take your reading. This is 20.12, this is 20.3. I don't know if it is visible to the camera. Can it be?
They are not seeing the number, but they are still ready to stop.
Can't you zoom so that the number will appear well? You can zoom and tap the points you want to be seen.
Yes, yes.
So that's our final. Remember, our initial is to 0.00. You now write it down. Because I've done this titration before, what I got before this titration, before this particular one that is now on camera is 25.20, and this is 25.30. So it is still within the range. It is concordant. 25.20 and 25.30. That's concordant titers. If not that I've done it before, I will have to repeat again. So right now, we will now follow the question step by step. But this is Emergency Easy World. We focus on the experiments. I've created a second channel to handle the theoretical work and the calculations. That is, see you at Majestic Tutorials, where I'll show you how to do the calculations you are seeing there on the screen. What matters is you getting the calculation well. Nobody is recording how you are doing the experiment. They only mark your script. So you visit Majestic Tutorials to see the secrets and the steps, the easy way to do your calculations and secure your mark. How to follow the rules. Know the WAEC marking guide, because you might be writing what you think is the answer, but the way you're writing it really matters. So thank you. Nice having someone like you. Thank you for visiting this channel. Please subscribe and share this video. Much love from me to you. Stay and remain majestic. Bye for now.